I'm Jordan, 62, standing in the kitchen of my new home, listening to the sounds of my grandchildren, Lily and Ethan, laughing and playing in the living room. I can't help but reflect on the incredible journey that has brought us here. It's been 6 months since my life took a dramatic turn, and I'm still in awe of how things have changed. 6 months ago, I was sleeping in my car, feeling unwanted and disposable. My son, Ryan, had passed away after a long battle with cancer, and my daughter in law, Ava, wasted no time in kicking me out of the house. She said I was too emotional, that I was a bad influence on the kids. I was devastated, not just because I was losing my home, but because I was losing my family. I remember the day she told me to leave like it was yesterday. I was sitting in the living room, folding Ryan's old sweaters, when she walked in and told me to pack my bags. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I'd lived with them for 5 years, helping to raise the kids and take care of the house. I thought I was part of the family, but apparently I was wrong. I tried to reason with her, but she wouldn't listen. She said the house was hers now, and she needed space to grieve. She told me to be strong, to learn to survive on my own. I felt like my heart was being ripped out of my chest. I had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. That night, I packed my belongings into my car and drove away. I felt so alone, so lost. I parked my car behind a 24-hour diner on the outskirts of town and tried to sleep. It was the most uncomfortable night of my life. I couldn't stop thinking about Ryan, about Lily and Ethan. I wondered what they were doing, if they were okay. The next few weeks were a blur. I lived in my car, eating whatever I could afford from the diner. I applied for senior living communities, but the waiting lists were long and the deposits were too high. I felt like I was in a never-ending nightmare. One day, I decided to drive by the house to see if I could catch a glimpse of the kids. What I saw broke my heart. There was a dumpster in the driveway, filled with Ryan's belongings. I could see his desk, his bookshelf, his favorite recliner. It was like they were trying to erase him from their lives. I was so angry, so hurt. I couldn't believe Ava would do something like that. I drove away, feeling more alone than ever. That night, I cried myself to sleep. I felt like I'd lost everything. But then, something amazing happened. I got a call from Ryan's lawyer, Mr. Thompson. He said he needed to talk to me about Ryan's estate. I was nervous, but I agreed to meet him at his office. When I walked into his office, I felt like I was in a different world. It was so luxurious, so different from the life I'd been living. Mr. Thompson was a kind, gentle man. He offered me a cup of coffee and sat me down. He told me that Ryan had made some changes to his will shortly after his cancer diagnosis. He'd left me $7 million to be held in trust until I could establish stable housing and financial management. He'd also included a provision in his will that if Ava tried to remove me from the family home or cut off contact between me and the kids, full custody of Lily and Ethan would immediately transfer to me. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I felt like I'd been given a second chance at life. Mr. Thompson showed me the will and explained everything in detail. He said Ryan had been worried about what would happen to me after he was gone. He'd wanted to make sure I was taken care of. I was so overwhelmed, so grateful. I felt like Ryan was still looking out for me, even from the grave. Mr. Thompson helped me get a hotel room and arranged for a social worker to assist me with finding permanent housing. He also filed the paperwork for the custody transfer. 3 days later, I stood in front of the house that had been my home for 5 years. This time, I held legal documents that changed everything. Mr. Thompson, a social worker, and a police officer accompanied me. I was nervous, but I was also determined. When Ava opened the door, her face went pale. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. I told her that according to Ryan's will, I was now the legal guardian of Lily and Ethan. She tried to argue, but Mr. Thompson showed her the documents and played the recordings of the conversations she'd had with Ryan about her plans to send me away. She was shocked, but she knew she couldn't fight it. She handed over the kids' belongings and watched as we drove away. I felt a sense of relief, but I also felt sad for her. I knew she was hurting too. Lily and Ethan were so happy to see me. They'd been so confused and scared since their father's death. They'd miss me so much. I promised them that I would always be there for them, that I would never leave them again. We moved into a furnished 3-bedroom apartment that Mr. Thompson's office had arranged. It wasn't much, but it was home. We decorated the kids' rooms with pictures of Ryan and their favorite things. We started a new routine, filled with love and laughter. Over the next few weeks, I watched as Lily and Ethan slowly started to heal. They were allowed to grieve properly, to feel their emotions without worrying about how it affected the adults around them. We talked about Ryan, we cried together, and we laughed together. It was the most healing thing for all of us. But the real breakthrough came when Lily found me crying in the kitchen one day. She asked me if I was sad because of Daddy. I told her yes, that I missed him very much. She then asked me if I ever felt sad about Daddy, and I told her that it was okay to cry when you miss someone you love. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "Can I cry with you sometimes?" I pulled her into a hug and said, "Always, sweetheart. We can cry together, and we can laugh together, and we can remember Daddy together." That moment was a turning point for all of us. We started to heal, to move forward. We realized that even though Ryan was gone, his love would always be with us. 6 months have passed since then, and so much has changed. We've moved into a new house, a cozy 3-bedroom home with a backyard where the kids can play. Lily and Ethan are thriving. They're happy, they're healthy, and they're surrounded by love. Ava has also changed. She's started to take responsibility for her actions. She's apologized for the way she treated me, and she's trying to be a better mother. She still has a long way to go, but I can see that she's trying. I'm so grateful for everything that has happened. Ryan's death was a tragedy, but it also brought us closer together. It taught me the importance of family, of love, and of never giving up. I know that there will always be challenges ahead, but I'm ready for them. I have Lily and Ethan, and I have the support of Mr. Thompson and the social worker. I know that we'll be okay. As I sit here, listening to the kids' laughter, I can't help but smile. I'm so grateful for this second chance at life. I'm grateful for the love and support of my family. And I'm grateful for Ryan, for the incredible gift he left me.